Hello everyone! I recently gave my daughter a challenge. We were both supposed to go through her stack of mangas and find some artwork we'd like to reproduce. The reason why I did that is every time I went to her bedroom, I always walked by the first volume of the Ancient Magus Bride, and the back of it was showing, and I really liked the colors and the artwork, and it's just I really liked that page, or the back of the back cover, and I thought to myself that one of these days I'd like to paint it just to practice. So I just gave her, once in a while we challenge each other with drawings and paintings. So I told her to go through her mangas and find something she'd like to paint. But what we had to do is use watercolor. And I kind of did that because she rarely uses watercolors, and I wanted her to kind of get a better feel for the medium because I knew she could do something pretty. If you're not familiar with the Ancient Magus Bride, it's a very, very popular manga. I get that first volume, and then we realized that they just came out with 2 seasons. I think it's the whole story of the anime version. So I also get the DVD, and my daughter liked the book, and I didn't even bother reading it. I probably will, but I just watched the anime with her, and I thought it was really cool. It's very strange. I'm not even going to bother trying to explain to you. If you want to find out what the storyline is, just I'll put a link in the description below, and you can check it out yourself. The artwork is amazing. I loved watching the anime, if anything, just for the artwork, because it was just beautiful. So I grabbed my sketchbook that has Arch watercolor paper, and it's hot press, so it's nice and smooth. And I did that because I wanted to use some ink. So I thought that hot press would work better. And plus I wanted to practice using hot press paper, because besides using it with colored pencils, I've never really used it with watercolors, so I wanted to give it a shot. I thought it would be nice to add details with watercolors, so that's why I used that one. So after I took quite a while to sketch my drawing, I didn't realize how many details it had until I started sketching it. First, I decided to skip that little fairy character on the left because it was just too much. And then once I was done, I used a micron pen and I traced all the lines with ink. And that took quite a while as well, but it was very satisfying. When I was done doing that, I erased all my graphite lines, and I used my watercolors, and I painted a very light wash to cover pretty much the whole paper. I wanted to establish all the colors first. Once that was dry, I used another wash that was a bit darker, and that's when I started working on the shadows. So I kind of worked with a new technique that I really liked. It's something simpler, something that I wanted to try for quite a while, just doing very easy shadows and not too much blending, just layering instead of blending. I didn't do any wet on wet. Everything was wet on dry, and I really liked that. I really enjoyed it. So like I said, I didn't realize that it had so many details, and that's probably what drew me to it, because the composition is so nice and it does have so many details. But it took me about 6 hours from start to finish, from sketch to finish. But I'm pretty happy with the result, and I really need to do more of those because it was a fun exercise. My daughter ended up using a page of the manga The Journey of Shuna that was actually written and illustrated by Miyazaki. And that manga was a big inspiration for the movie Nausicaa that Miyazaki's son made. So she's not very comfortable using watercolors. However, I think she did a beautiful job, and if you watch this video till the end, I will share her painting. Now back to mine. I had a hard time at the bottom right of my painting because there was a it was not really a sticker, but it was the barcode for the book, so I kind of had to make up that part, and I was not really sure what to do, but it turned out okay in the end. So I wanted to find out how many of you have read the Ancient Magus Bride, or if you've ever heard of it. How did you like it? Did you ever watch the anime? Did you notice any major differences between the anime and the manga? So I'm personally not a huge manga reader. My kids are, however, but I really like some of the artwork. I think it's amazing. Alright, so that's it for today. Thank you all for stopping by. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. I'll do my best to answer them. I hope you enjoyed this little painting in my sketchbook today. I'll see you soon. Have a wonderful day. Bye bye.